and let me know if you can see and hear me. Hopefully should be all good. I'll confirm on my end over here as well. But obviously we got some big news this morning. I basically just woke up. Woke up with enough time to go take Odin out and then basically jump straight on this. I got to chat with my buddy Max Miles and Points, who posted the first video I've seen on the topic so far, and got some, I guess some good information from him by watching his video as well as chatting with him. Again, let me check, make sure this live stream is looking all good. Looks clean on my end, but you all let me know if you see something different that I don't. There we go. Okay, we got the text up on screen. Perfect. Mike is here. Good morning. John is here as well. Shay is here too. Jordan, early morning live. Let's go. You know it. Nolan, what's up? Awesome. People are in here. Let me just make sure that this live share works as well. Let's see here. There we go. That should just about do it. Cool. Josh, what's going on? Jose, welcome, welcome. Benjamin, glad y'all are here. And yeah, looks like everything is set up well. So if y'all can hear me, that's the most important part. But long story short, we got a really big news this morning about the two new Sapphire cards, I guess you could call them. One being the existing Chase Sapphire Reserve that got updated, has a new annual fee, new credits, new earning categories, and basically tracks what we saw through all the rumors, which is pretty interesting. But it is, yeah, going to be either, honestly, I was really hoping that it was going to be all good news. Y'all saw my initial rumor video about this card. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. Yeah, y'all saw my initial rumored video about this one. Some people really hated it for some reason. I was basically just breaking down my effective annual fee for the new Chase Sapphire Reserve as the rumors had it, because it had a ton of new credits added. The annual fee was only going up by whatever it was, $245. And overall, I was like, oh, this is a positive change if they keep everything else intact. What we're about to find out is that they did not keep everything else intact as we initially thought. So that's where the real holdup is going to be for me personally. And yeah, we're basically just going to jump right into it. Like I said, that's for the personal Chase Sapphire Reserve. They also released a business version as well. And we actually even have some unboxing and stuff already that Max Miles and Points has done for the personal card, at least. I think the unboxing for the business he might have done on his Instagram already, so we'll maybe check that out too. Yeah, great video by Max here, already rip roaring. So let's get into my thoughts about this, though. Y'all can read all you want about the actual updates, but what do I think about this and where do I think we're going to go from here? I think that's really what I want to cover, obviously, the most here today. So let's see here. While I pull this up, let's run through a couple more comments. Vincent, welcome in. Alejandro, good morning to you as well. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the business version here in just a second. Matt Frost, welcome. Shay, hopefully a new credit on the CSR is a good thing. So we're about to find out here. Tony, I have not seen that article about them dropping the one Sapphire card rule. That'd be interesting if so. Maybe that's just because they have the Sapphire business now. Maybe I don't think you'll be able to hold both of the personal ones, but maybe that's because of the business. Chad is in here, another member of the channel, just like the Jordan Rules for Credit. What is up, y'all? What's up, Book? Thank you for the support as always. Yes, sir, Monty. Trying to get on it as quick as I can. I know people are just, it's already gotten so many videos and posts about it, so I just want to give my 2 cents. What's going on? Good morning, Lonnie. All right, let's get into it. Let us get into it. Let me pull this away. So yeah, sorry if y'all can't hear me for a second. I'm just going to pull the mic over here. Maybe that'll make things easier for us so I can just look at the screen while I'm talking. But effectively, details about the Sapphire Reserve's card and pending changes are now available. And they do have a good, pretty good overview here of what's going on. A lot of people are worried about the $300 annual travel credit not staying, but it is remaining intact. So that's good news. And then like they said, the bad news is that the annual fee is increasing. We also lose 3x for all travel. And we can no longer rely on 1.5 cents per point redemptions through Chase Travel. That is, y'all are going to find out, my biggest holdup with what they're doing here. I think it's a really stupid move, but I hope that I get proven wrong. Okay, cool. So let's dive straight into this portion here. The timeline, basically, the overview is that both of these cards are going to launch on Monday, June 23rd, which is next Monday. I believe that's right. Yeah. We don't know what the welcome bonuses are yet, but they're going to obviously update us as soon as we hear more about it. The transition for existing card holders, so this is for any of you like myself who already have the card and what you can expect. So you can see me a bit better. But yeah, this timeline is actually really confusing. Y'all can read through this real quick if you want to. Maybe pause the live real quick, but it's just kind of a lot. So what I'd actually rather do before we get into this is just cover the changes themselves, and we can get back into this timeline later. So someone remind me if I don't get to it. But here's the important stuff. The annual fee and point earning rate changes. The primary card holder has now jumped from $550 to $795. It's a $245 increase. They came for the Amex Platinum. They topped the Amex Platinum. Amex is now coming back and saying that they are going to refresh their card in fall of this year. So we're going to see Amex now come back for Chase, probably drop an $895 or $995 card. Would not be surprised at all by that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see just Chase go for it. I mean, the Sapphire Reserve hasn't been the most premium card necessarily, but it's always had a couple of competitive advantages over the others, like the 1.5x earning rate or 1.5x redemption rate through the portal compared to other cards. Now they're getting rid of that, but long story short, they have increased the annual fee by $245. And not surprisingly, but also unfortunately, they've raised the authorized user fee from $75 per card to $195. That's a pretty big loss for some people. Again, it's not unexpected because we've seen the Amex Platinum do this. We've seen the Venture X now add the authorized user fee of $125 basically per card, per authorized user card that you want lounge access on. And you can see, I posted that video about this last week, which isn't doing very well at all. Probably bad timing on that one, but go check that one out if you're interested in more details on the Venture X changes. But effectively, yeah, they raised the authorized user fee. But the good news is, and I'm sure they talk about it somewhere in here. I don't know where. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff going on. We might have to find it from somewhere else, but they are keeping intact the 2 free guests to the lounges, as well as, 2 free guests to the Sapphire lounges at least. I need to look into that a bit more. Maybe Max covered it, but I know that they're keeping that part intact, which means that effectively still you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve technically being, the best for guest policy into their lounges if you have a Chase Sapphire lounge in your home airport, and if you are willing to pay the higher annual fee, obviously. But at least we know that they're not nerfing that to the ground. They are adding a higher authorized user fee, and I believe the authorized users also get lounge access. But yeah, that's just something to note. Now, yes, this is just the Chase Sapphire Reserve personal card so far. Woodsy, welcome into the chat. What's going on, dude? I love that new badge by your name. It looks sick. The point earning rates is what we're obviously going to have a big issue with, some of us. The 8x back on Chase travel purchases is whatever. Sure, that's good. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Maybe some of y'all do. I think it was like 5x on whatever it was before, hotels and car rentals, then 10x on flights or something like that. But now it's all 8x. I think that's probably a net just neutral, basically. You still get 5x back on eligible Lyft rides, at least through September 30th of 2027. Now you get 4x back on flights and hotels when you book direct, which I actually think is not a bad thing. I guess, people are really upset about this right here. The fact that you only get 1x back on travel now. That's just part of the everything else category. And I do think that's really annoying for people that use it for transit, that use it for cruises, that use it for Airbnb. Those are like the big hits that people are taking. For me personally, the only way I would ever book, like I don't book that kind of stuff. I really only book hotels and airlines, and usually I'm booking in points. But I think in general, the fact that they at least gave us 4x on flights and hotels booked direct is like the silver lining, right? It's not a good thing that they got rid of the 3x back on all travel, but it's a silver lining. Curious to hear what y'all think about that. It seems like most people that are like infuriated by that 3x being lost are mad because they used it for those niche cases I just talked about, and not for flights and hotels. Because if that's all you used it for, you'd actually get a buff here. After that, they're keeping the 3x back on dining worldwide, including eligible delivery. So yeah, biggest change is we're losing the 3x back on general travel. We do get the 4x back on flights and hotels. Everything else is basically the same. Let's stop right here and talk real quick about what y'all think about these changes. Let's stick on the point earning rates, and I'll just highlight this for now. And we can bring up your comments for a second, and then we'll get into the credits after this, and then move back through all the frequent milers topics here. Shay is saying that the 1x back on travel they really don't like, so probably in that affected camp of wanting the 3x for Airbnbs or cruises or something like that. Let's see here. I'd rather the CSR increase the base earning rate to 2x points. Well, yeah, that would be great, but they're not exactly, I don't think, competing with the Venture X in this regard. Like, they want it to be more of a general lifestyle card. And also, if they couldn't raise this to 2x without raising the Chase Freedom Unlimited, or that card is rendered useless. So, yeah, unfortunately not going to happen, but... Yeah, see, like Robert saying that the card just got destroyed. We'll get back into more of the details here in a second. But Jaja says that they like the changes. So you're going to see a big divide here. And that's kind of I guess, like what I've been seeing through my video especially, is that while some people think it's just great and like they love it, other people just seriously hate it. So it looks like a lot of people are asking about, Davo's asking about if there's going to be a refresh on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and theoretically that would make sense, right? Shay's also wondering the same thing. Let's see, Storm's asking about it as well. So yeah, a lot of people asking about them updating the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and theoretically I think that makes sense, but I would imagine that they're going to take some time to see what the reaction is to these changes. But I mean, for now, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is still the value add, is just being able to access their partners. And now the Chase Sapphire Reserve is definitely more of the luxury travel and lifestyle type of card, as we'll see from the credits especially. Woodsy says that it sucks losing 3x on all travel, but it's not a full deal breaker. And I agree with that for my use case especially. You could always get another credit card that covers you at that general travel if you really need something specific, or maybe if you travel on Amtrak a lot, you could get their credit card or whatever. But the core of this card remains the same. Like I said, because of that 4x back on flights and hotels too. If they got rid of that, then it wouldn't make any sense as a travel card aside from using their portal, and that just devalues it like crazy. Robert saying, as somebody with 20 plus cards who is just getting into Chase, the death of the 3x kills it for me. Like with the autograph journey, I don't want to worry about whether I'm getting 4x or 1x for purchases. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't know. Again, it just depends on how much you're spending on those very specific things that won't code as flights or hotels. That's what it all comes down to. And Robert, you also said that you think you're sticking with Amex. This is just way too complicated. Well, unfortunately, Amex is no less complicated, and it's only going to get more complicated with their announced changes coming very soon, but we'll see. All right, let's get back into the credits. Now we can move into the stuff that people really, really care about here. I don't really like how they have it laid out here, to be honest. Or let's see. Let's go check it. No, Sapphire Reserve for Business. Don't care. This is what I'm looking for here. Wish I would have seen this initially. Okay, annual fee is $7.95 now compared to that. Exactly. They're showing you what's better and what's worse. Yeah, we already covered earning categories. We're going to talk about this here in a second. Okay, hold on. I'm going to look up just... credits. Whoops. Actually, I'm just going to pull up Max's video.
So the Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Oh, hello. Yeah, Max did a great job covering this, and I've always loved his videos, and hence why I will be having him on the channel very soon, actually. But here we go. This is what I was really concerned about earlier, too. So the travel benefits, there's two sets of credits, basically the travel benefits as Max outlines, as well as the lifestyle benefits, basically. So travel benefits, they are keeping the $300 annual travel credit, which is huge. If they got rid of that, I think a lot of people would be enraged about it. Now they've added a $500 credit for stays with the edit, the biannual $250 credit. And the trick here that they have is that you have to be booking a minimum 2-night stay. Obviously, the edit collection hotels are going to be the most expensive out of the bunch. So by them incentivizing you to use this credit as well as the edit collection, you're not going to be spending more theoretically than you would have otherwise. And that's obviously by plan. But at the same time, I've stayed at edit collections before. I think if you're taking even one trip per year and you have this kind of credit on it, and you can use your points through the portal at a good rate, which as we'll see later, should be 2 cents per point guaranteed with these more luxury hotels and airlines, then I think that this is a really easy credit to get positive value from. Basically 2 trips a year, $250 a credit towards each, and hopefully being able to redeem at 2 cents per point. I think that's a net positive for most people. If you just hate using the travel portal for some reason, well, the Chase Sapphire Reserve probably isn't the card for you to begin with, because that's kind of like the name of the game with it, is to use it through the travel portal for that 1.5 cent per point guaranteed redemption rate, which is not going to be staying around, unfortunately, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Underneath that, though, the next thing that they gave you is IHG One Rewards Platinum Elite status, which is interesting. This probably will have me at least testing out IHG more, and I know that, you know, the IHG Premier card also has a great offer on it right now, too, so there's a lot playing in the favor of Chase and IHG right now in this regard. Might as well try it out if you have the card already. After that, they have reserve travel designers, and what Max said about this is that it's effectively a, like, what am I trying to say? What's the word? People that book your trips for you. Travel agent kind of service. Jeez, I could not think of it. They quoted at like a $300 like value per trip, which I think is kind of crazy, but I guess if you really, you know, were at the upper echelons, you didn't want to touch your travel bookings, you just wanted it done through the portal and you wanted someone to handle it for you, well, that's what this is for. After that, TSA pre-check, global entry, and travel protections, all that staying the same, as well as the Sapphire Lounge access, plus 2 guests and priority pass as well. So all positive there for the most part, I guess. Is there anything negative? No, because they kept all the other stuff the same. And now we get into the lifestyle benefits. Alrighty, and first thing is first, you get a $300 dining credit, which is biannual, so $150 per 6 months for Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables. They also get access to Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables as well, and I'm not like 100% sure what the Sapphire exclusive tables are. Maybe I don't know if y'all can actually hear him if I bring it up.
Annually, so $150 for January through June, and then July to December is another $150. And these are for Sapphire Reserve exclusive restaurants only. So looking at the Chase Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables, it's mostly major cities, and they are pretty high-end restaurants. What you do is that you can just use your Chase Sapphire Reserve card at those restaurants, and it'll automatically trigger that credit. No activation required, which makes it pretty simple to use, but you just have to make sure that you dine at one of those restaurants. There's also
Okay, so that obviously kind of goes in line with the Resi credit on the Amex Gold card. Looks like Chase, again, is coming after that lifestyle. They're kind of doing like a blend of the Platinum and the Gold card in a sense, which I think is kind of smart, but it makes it such a specific use case that you have to be using, again, the luxury Sapphire tables, the luxury edit collection. You have to be doing all this stuff, and they keep, you know, pushing you into this very specific group of people. Let's see, what else have we did not talk about? We also have the $300 StubHub credit, which is biannual at $150. I talked about this in my rumor video, but generally I don't really book with StubHub because I'd rather give the artist the money directly, and they usually have their own booking sites, but I probably could find a use for this. It wouldn't be the end of the world. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to have extra credit here, but it's not something that I probably would take at full value. The complimentary Apple TV and Apple Music. I don't use Apple Music. Apple TV, I could find some use for sure, but I don't, this is one of those situations where it only makes sense to take that into your effective annual fee calculation. I guess if you would have paid for it without having this card, which I don't think I would have. I am moving soon, so that's why I'm saying like I don't know. Maybe my girlfriend would actually really like having this, and we would have paid for it either way. So that kind of stuff I'm not too sure about. But either way, it's complimentary, and Apple Music is complimentary, which is a big plus for people that use that. I just love Spotify so much better, so much more. But maybe you're in the Apple boat. I'd be interested to hear how many of y'all are. Let me know. $120 Peloton credit, which is $10 per month. Trash. Very specific use case, again, pushing you into that more luxury lifestyle kind of camp. $120 Lyft credit is already intact. It's $10 per month. I have that on my Chase Sapphire Reserve now, so not an added benefit, but I guess kind of, because they only added it within the last month or two. I think that's an easy value add. Then $300 DoorDash credits plus Dash Pass is it sounds a bit too good compared to what it actually is. What it is, as long as they're not changing it, is $25 per month towards DoorDash. That's broken down into two $10 per month grocery orders and one $5 per month dining. So it's really not that great of a benefit at all, actually. The Dash Pass is nice, though. And I do use that a lot. So that in combination with the grocery stuff, though, I know it sounds like it's not that good, but I have found easy ways to save using that. For example, if I just have a $50 grocery store run that I need to make, midweek, and I can just order it through here instead and get the $10 off. That more than covers any of this. And there's not even really any service fees because you have Dash Pass. So it's technically a decent credit here, but I understand why people will be not super happy about it. Overall here, we're talking about $300. Well, I need to write all this stuff down, to be honest. Maybe I'll just go back to this other tab and see if they have it laid out pretty well so we can calculate an effective annual fee for me. And maybe it'll help you do yours as well. But those are the main lifestyle changes. And then, of course, if you're a big spender, they gave you some extra stuff. This is people that spend $75,000 or more per year on their card. You get IHG One Rewards Diamond status. So just upgrading from that platinum to diamond, not worth paying $75,000 a year for. But if you're already doing it, nice perk. Southwest A-list, again, I guess it's a fine perk if you're already spending that much. $500 Southwest Chase travel credit. I mean, Southwest has kind of been going downhill lately, so I guess cool if you can save some money with them. But if you're spending $75,000 a year on this card specifically, I'm not sure if you're even really flying Southwest. And then the $250 Chase the Shop credit is again for more I think luxury shops and stuff like that. So sure, you get an extra bit of value if you spend a ton of money on this card, but that's not what you probably should be doing. Now, here is where things are pretty messed up. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this. Let's go back to the credits here so we can see the difference between this side is the old Sapphire Reserve. This side is the new. You can see that the main stuff that the old one has, actually all the stuff that the old one has is staying intact, which is a positive. And they've just added the Edit Hotel one we talked about, the Sapphire Reserve tables, StubHub, Peloton, which I guess they didn't have before, but who cares? And then all these $75,000 spend benefits. So technically a net positive, but here is where things get tricky. It's one thing to give us extra value, right? It's nice that we have an extra, I don't know what this is, $500, $300, $800, $1,100. I mean, that doesn't really count. $1,100 plus these free subscriptions. They gave us an extra, I don't know, let's say $1,500 worth of value. That's great to only increase the annual fee by $245. But the big key that they're missing here is that they're going the Amex route, they're going the coupon book route, and people don't like that. I think that's one of those subtle things that Chase probably isn't really thinking about. They're being, they're trying to justify everything with their added credits and making sure that that you're getting a ton of extra value now, but that misses the point of, okay, we're going down a coupon book path, meaning that, okay, now Amex has to now chase your tail. They're going to go up to $1,000 a year, add $2,000 worth of possible credits. And for some people that are willing to put in that amount of effort, sure, I guess that's great because you're getting more value from your card. But personally, I would rather keep the Chase Sapphire Reserve as a simple, no-brainer, travel portal credit card, basically, that keeps the same lounge access, keeps all of that, keeps the same low annual or authorized user fee. But no, they kind of just are matching the competition. And obviously, the reason for that is to make more money from their customer base. There's a lot of people that have this card that, live in Silicon Valley or whatever. They spend a lot of money on it. They don't even know that these changes are going to happen. And now Chase is going to make more money from them because they increased that annual fee. And they're making so much from those people that they're now able to give us these extra benefits, which, some people are super thankful for, I guess. But that's kind of not how I approach it. And yeah, Matt right here saying Chase fumbled the basics. Shout out, Matt. Welcome into the chat. I didn't see you come in, but Matt's another channel member and a great dude that posts a ton of news about credit cards. So that's where I get a lot of my information too. But yeah, it's I think you're kind of right about this, Matt. I think that it's just kind of weird to see all these banks. I like, it makes sense that they're all trying to push you into a more luxury, I guess, kind of lifestyle. So they make the card more and more specific towards one target audience. I guess that makes sense, but it does kind of screw over like the everyday credit card user to a degree. And Richie, we're going to get into this in just a second. We're still going through the changes. We have already discussed how. Go ahead and pull this up for y'all. Do a quick recap for wow, we have this is a lot of people in this live. I've never had this many. Thank y'all for joining. But we've already gone through the annual fee, the additional card fee, the points earning rates, and then we've gone through the credits, as well as the 75K spend benefits, and then some of the perks. I think the only thing that I'm really missing at this point is this biggest change, in my opinion, that has gone a little bit under the radar compared to others, and that is the Chase travel point value. So, effectively, the old Chase Sapphire Reserve, which I think the biggest selling point of this card is for domestic travelers who want a guaranteed 1.5 cent per point redemption rate through a travel portal. It's perfect for that. I've saved probably over $2,000 alone from this. I think in my year one review, I'd already saved like $1,500 or something from this benefit alone. Drinking my mini here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that was the biggest selling point, is that for domestic travelers, you're usually not getting 1.5 cents per point for specific hotels and airlines in the US. Like, for example, if you were going to go stay at a Marriott property, you have three options really with your Chase points. You could either cash them out at 1 cent per point, that's staying intact. You could transfer them to Marriott directly, which you would never want to do unless there's like a really good transfer bonus and you're only sending a few points over. Because Marriott's average point valuation is 0.7, Chase's is like 2. So by transferring your Chase points to Marriott, you're devaluing your Chase points by, half effectively. And then the third option would be to book through the travel portal at 1.5 cents per point for that exact same Marriott property that costs the exact same amount, meaning that you now doubled, your valuation of what you would have gotten by booking with Marriott directly. And that's a really big win. Same thing goes for domestic airlines, right? Let's take I'm trying to think of one. Like Delta, for example, average cent per point valuation is around like 1.2 for domestic trips. So by booking through the Chase travel portal at 1.5 cents per point, you increase your boost, or you increase your redemption rate by say 25% or whatever that is. Plus, the key here for both of those is that you also earn points with the hotel or airline that you're traveling with, and you get qualifying nights or flights towards status. That makes your cent per point value higher than 1.5 effectively, because you're actually earning points on that booking compared to booking direct where you wouldn't do that. Your mileage may vary for that, but everywhere that I've booked through the Chase travel portal, that has been the case. And so now I'm saying all this. This is all the really good side about the old Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is this benefit right here. Now what they've decided to do is give you anywhere from one, or not anywhere from, but they either give you 1 cent per point through the portal or 2 cents per point. So basically they've implemented this new like boost feature, which means that for certain properties, for certain flights, I guess, you will get 2 cents per point through the portal, which is great. That's a great redemption rate. But they're removing the 1.5 boost for everything else and bringing everything else down to 1. And I guarantee you that your Marriott stay, that's a cheap Marriott stay that you're doing for a few nights that you used to be able to get 1.5 cents per point for through the portal, you're now going to get 1. And that really changes the math for a lot of people. This is something that I'm not going to be able to really take into account with my effective annual fee calculation just because I don't know what properties are going to allow me to get that higher rate. But based on what Max said in his video, it's going to be like higher end properties. And I don't know if he shows. Yeah, here we go. Great way to see it right here. Points boost, a new way to make the most of rewards. Card members can use points boost to maximize the value of their points on premium air cabin tickets and select hotels, including the Edit by Chase Travel. So to me, that's a massive nerf. Because now what they're saying is that it's not the card for everyday domestic travelers. It's the card for people that want to book premium trips. Which, yeah, it's like that defeats the whole purpose. Like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, for as long as I've known about the card, has been for domestic travelers. I know some people may have different opinions about this, but that's what its bread and butter is. And now they've taken that away. I don't know why they thought that this would be a great idea. And Matt's completely right here, saying that Wells and City have doors wide open to be simple, to bring this kind of thing back. That is what we're really seeing here, is that Chase has now given up their competitive advantage a bit. I mean, sure, you can still get that 2 cents per point, but they've given up that guaranteed 1.5. That gives City, Wells, mainly those two, a really good reason to invest more into their travel portal and bring back what Chase had before. Matt, yes, we do get some reprieve in that the 1.5 isn't going away immediately, but changing it at all is bad. It's a great point here. I do want to bring this up because whenever I first saw Max's video about it, I was pretty pissed, to be honest. But there is some light, I guess, or some silver lining to it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go into this timeline thing here and just take a look through this. I don't know if there's a better. Hold on. Okay, they have a separate post about the points boost, so we're not gonna look at that just yet. Okay, let's just take a look at this real quick. So this is the overall timeline for these changes, right? So we're going to cover, we basically already covered everything that is changing, and now we're going to talk about more in the weeds about what to expect if you currently have this card, or if you're planning on applying for it, or what to do next because of this. So June 23rd, 2025 is when existing card members will get access to the points boost. For a while, card members will automatically receive the best offer available, meaning that you either get the points boost or 1.5x on Chase Travel. So effectively, if you're an existing cardholder, you want to be an existing cardholder when these changes take place, no matter what. But for the points boost specifically, again, you're going to get the best of both worlds for a bit, which means I probably should go in and just see if I can find any flights that I need to book next year and just do it. But I don't necessarily have to rush with that. And this is why. So October 25th, 2025 is going to be the last day to earn points that are redeemable for 1.5x on Chase Travel. So I know it's a bit confusing, but let's just keep reading here. Points moved by this date to the Sapphire Reserve from other cards in your household will count as have been earned before October 26th and will be usable for 1.5x. So effectively what this means is that any points earned before October 25th, you will be able to use those for the 1.5 cent per point redemption rate through Chase's travel portal all the way until October 25th of 2027. So we're jumping up a bit here, but let me just explain it. October 25th, 2027, so 2 years from the date that you earn the points, is your last day to redeem for 1.5x on Chase Travel. So yeah, I guess the idea would be that, I mean, theoretically you could apply for this card now, but I don't know if they're going to approve you at the lower annual fee and all that. And you could earn the welcome offer and all those points before that cutoff date, hold on to those and just wait to use them into the future. This is definitely going to change my approach about booking trips right now, because I'm going to be a lot more strict about yeah, if I'm going to use the travel portal or not right now, might just save it for future years and try to use my other currencies instead. But to be fair, I'm already booked out through this year. So, and that includes a trip to Italy and Mexico. So I'm like pretty set for this year. But either way, yeah, you're just going to be able to redeem those points. I guess the key here too is that if you have other cards like the Chase Freedom cards and all of that, you're going to want to move your points by October 25th, 2025 to the Sapphire Reserve. That way you can use them for that 1.5x in the future. Now, October 26, 2025 is when all new card features are going to be enabled. So that's good news. That's like the go live date effectively. And that's when you no longer earn the 3x on all travel. But until then, you will earn the 3x. October 27th, 2025 and onwards, the annual fee will be adjusted to $7.95 on the next anniversary date following October 26th. So if your card renews before October 26th, theoretically, hopefully your card renews in October at $5.50, and then you get this all these benefits for a full year before you renew again. My annual fee renewed in May, so I'm like in a decent spot here where I get to use the new benefits for whatever that is, October, like November, December, January, February, March, April. Like I get a full like 7 months almost to use it. So that's good for me. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Did that bring up any questions right there? I know I kind of just went on for a bit here, but I don't want to make this live extremely long. I just want to make it more news based. Although we do have 400 people in here, which is insane. So thank y'all for joining. And yeah, I just appreciate y'all. If this is your first time seeing my channel for some reason, consider subscribing. I got a lot of videos about stuff like this, obviously. We just covered the Venture exchanges. We've covered a lot of stuff on this channel. So check it out if you're interested. But yeah, I guess we've also only talked about the personal card. So we still have more to go here. We have to talk about the business card too. But let me pause real quick and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of y'all's comments for a couple of minutes. Then we'll get into the business card. Then we'll come back and do a full just audience like Q&A kind of thing here too. Make sure I didn't miss anything while y'all are doing that. Yeah, this actually is an important point too. The product change opportunity. So if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve or Chase Sapphire Preferred, let me mess this up. Basically, if you want a product change to this card and you have a card member date later in the year, but no later than October 26th, it's worth considering whether you should product change to the reserve before Monday, June 23rd. So actually, I think what I just said might have been incorrect. Maybe some of y'all even correct me. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. Because I initially said that you need the card before October 26th or whatever. That's when your annual fee should renew. But I think to even get, yeah, that makes sense. To even get the ability to keep these perks at the 550 level, you need to apply before June 23rd, which is actually next Monday. Yeah, because after that point, it's going to be on their website. I believe it's already going to be updated to the $7.95. Yeah, the following timeline is exclusively for Sapphire members who applied prior to June 23rd, 2025. Should have looked at that. This is all for existing card members. All that stuff I just mentioned is for existing card members. But new card members, I assume, starting June 23rd, you will be applying with everything, I guess, being updated. So yeah, basically you want a product change or apply before June 23rd if you want these benefits at a lower annual fee. Okay. I appreciate you, Joseph. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of y'all's comments here. Like I said, the edit's going to earn 8 points per dollar, Matt. Let me pull this back up again. All point earning in the travel portal is 8x. So they did actually kind of nerf that, right? Because it was 10x before. But yeah, theoretically, you could still, as long as they keep it intact as how it was before, the best way to use that $500, let me go find it for you. The $500, where are we at? The Edit Hotel program thing. The best way to use this would be to, just like on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, if you have that card, the best way to use it is to book the majority of the trip in points, but then leave that $50 on the Preferred or $250 on the edit collection to be paid in cash. Whenever you go to complete a booking through the Chase Travel Portal, they give you the ability to split your purchase. So if you split it into $250 worth of cash and the rest in points, then it'll activate that credit in full. You get to use the points for the rest, and it basically boosts your redemption rate from, at this point, once these changes go into effect, 2 cents per point on the edit hotels to 2 point something. I don't know exactly what it is. It depends on your trip. But basically, you get a boost on your points because you use the credit for part of it. So that's kind of how I like to think of it. Yeah, you're only earning 8x on those now. Jacob asking how this will affect the preferred. Again, we don't know about this yet, but I mean, if they're removing the guaranteed boost from the reserve, you would assume, like Professor Baumsgan said here, that you will probably lose the 1.25 cent per point boost on the preferred, but I don't know, maybe not. They might give you like 1.5 for the edit and the higher tier stuff, and then only 1 for the rest. So maybe not the full 2, but maybe, I don't know. That's my guess. Since we just talked about this, CZR saying, current research shows this is possible, but I want to make sure. My wife has the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I have a Freedom Flex after a downgrade from the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Can I still transfer my cash to my wife's Chase Sapphire Reserve? Yes, as long as y'all are in the same household or whatever, you can call and get them connected. You can transfer your points to her reserve before October 25th. Y'all can use those points until October 25th, 2027 at 1.5 cents per point through the portal if you transfer before them. QC Man is here. He's for the people. Got a lot of people here. Not a ton of likes. You just popped in. My card renewed September 25th. Am I at the 550 at that time? I think that's actually like the most ideal position to be in, right? Because you're, where are we at, people? Where are we at? If you have your card renew before October 26th, you keep the 550 annual fee. So you basically have a full year of getting all the benefits at 550, which is great. Oh, Richie, that's interesting. I might have misspoken earlier, didn't I? I don't know, because I think it was 10x on all hotels, wasn't it? I mean, it's still live on their website. Let me see. Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about this. They did remove the ability to get 10x through the edit. So, Richie, you're right. So effectively, you're actually getting a boost on your earning rate for the edit collection if it's all 8x. So good catch there. Yep. Thanks, Matt. Matt saying, I don't love the implementation and waiting 4 months to get these benefits. I agree. It's a little bit odd. I mean, at least, well, I was going to say, at least they gave us some time to like figure out if we want to, I don't know, accept the new benefits or whatever. But they only gave us 6 days to apply or product change before the other stuff gets locked in, basically. So yeah, it is a little bit odd. No problem. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the business card now. Don't leave. I mean, we're going to talk about the personal one again. I just want to make sure that we have a full understanding, since this is all packaged, about the new Chase Sapphire cards in general. Let's move over to the Chase Sapphire business card. It's not going to take as long to get through this because it's effectively the same card. What's going on here? Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong screen. It's effectively the same card, but they are just adding a couple of different credits, just like the Amex Business Platinum, that is business focused. So Chase Sapphire Reserve Business. Yeah, this is a great point. What will the welcome offer be? If this welcome offer is massive, I mean, I'll be jumping on it. So it'd be good that I'm under 524. I already filmed and have a roadmap video going out next week, and I don't have this card on it, obviously, because we didn't know about it, but this might be something I add to my roadmap. We'll see what that is. The annual fee. Wait, is this the rumor? Hold on a second. That's not what I wanted to find here. Max sent me. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, people. The headline being the new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business surprises but doesn't delight. Let's see if Nick Reyes is correct here. Interesting design. Okay, maybe all we really need to look at for this card is just right here. So the annual fee for the business one, this is it compared to the consumer card now, the updated consumer card, so we can get a good look at whether or not you'd want to go for the business versus the personal one, or maybe whether you want both. It'd be really expensive to get both, but you could. Annual fee is $7.95 for a business card with Chase. That they don't have a business card with a higher than a $95 annual fee so far. That's insane. One of the benefits compared to the personal that has no authorized user fee. But here's a trick: you don't get guest access with the authorized user, or the authorized users. Sorry, Jesus. If you pay the $195 on the personal card, I believe your authorized users also get. So you could run all of your spend through this one instead. Granted, you're missing out on 1x compared to the Amex Business Gold, but it's an option. Everything else remains intact. The points boost, or at least as it comes to the points boost that they're now implementing, which is super annoying. Points transfer, still get that. Travel protections, priority pass. The priority pass with 2 guests and the Sapphire Lounges with 2 guests, both the personal and business Sapphire Reserve cards give you that. But the authorized user lounge access, you do get that with the consumer card. You don't with this one, the business. And that's because you're paying $200 per card for the consumer one. Oh, is the stream still lagging, guys? Hopefully it's just been a quick internet thing on my end, but hopefully it's all good now. Sorry, y'all. Hopefully you can hear me now. I don't think I've had this many people in a live. Maybe it's freaking out. Everything all good now, hopefully? Let me know. I'm going to keep talking as if it is good, just because I have no other option, really. Yeah, it looks like some people. Okay. All good. Thank y'all. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. It probably honestly is how many people are here. This is an insane amount of people. Mike, thank you so much for joining the membership. We've chatted a lot in the past, Mike, so I'm excited to get to continue doing so. And obviously you get access to all the members' videos, members' lives that I've done, all the members' content. So thank you for joining. That means a lot. If y'all are interested where he did that, it's if you're on desktop, it's underneath the video, or underneath the live stream. But shout out to you, Mike. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, we're back. So getting back into this, geez. Yeah, basically the guest policies, authorized user access, the consumer card's where you want to go. Business card's not going to have that, but it will have the guest access for the primary card holder. IHG Platinum status is the same for both cards. The free subscription to Apple TV and Apple Music, as well as the Reserve Travel Designers, is only exclusive to the consumer card. It is not on the business card. So, something to consider. They both have access to the exclusive tables with Sapphire Reserve, though. So, nothing groundbreaking here. The credits is where things are going to get a bit different. You have all the same credits that we talked about before: the travel credit, global entry, the edit credit, Lyft credit, DoorDash. But this is where everything else starts to change. The Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables, so the dining credit is not available on the business card. The StubHub is not available, and the Peloton is not available. But on the business card, you get 3 different credits, that being $200 semi-annually for ZipRecruiter. So again, running a business, you could do that. Google Workspace, you get $200 per year, which could be good for those paying for like extra, I think that's actually pretty usable for most. I don't think I need it, but possible. You can get gift cards at $50 per 6 months. So, hey, go get you some gift cards. That $100 will make up the annual fee. Don't worry. Jokes. Now, the big spend benefits are basically the same. You get $500 to the shops instead of $250, but you have to be spending $120,000 per year on the card instead. So I think the idea is that the people that are going for the Sapphire business cards are going to be obviously high net worth individuals, not people like us that are just getting it for the welcome offer, but people that really want to spend a lot on the card, and will run all their business spend through it. So that kind of stuff would make sense. You know, people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for their businesses. So I guess, yeah, if you're one of those people watching this video, shout out. Okay. Looks like a lot of people stopped watching about the business stuff, but overall, I think hopefully that makes sense. Just added a few extra, or I guess traded a few credits for business specific credits instead. That's the main difference. But let's go back to the personal one. I think this chart is a really good place to kind of leave things and just chat about what's going on here. So yeah, let's go ahead and discuss anything y'all really want to about this card real quick. I think while y'all shoot in some questions and stuff, I'm going to start trying to calculate my effective annual fee. Let me go ahead and do this for now. Pull up my notes. So I'm going to be calculating, and I can share this again, my Chase Sapphire Reserve effective annual fee. So we're talking $795. And all of the credits. Start listing these out while y'all continue to put those questions down there. So much random crap on this card now. That's why I hate the coupon book stuff. Is just so annoying. Like I can't. Whatever. Lift. $300 DoorDash. I'll just call Sapphire Tables. I still see all those comments coming in. Don't worry. I'm just trying to list out all the stuff on this freaking card now. IHG Platinum. Free Apple Music. I'm not even going to include the Reserve Travel Designers. I don't care about that. I think that's effectively everything, right? And then we're missing the new boost. Earning categories obviously is a separate thing here. Oh. Okay. I'm pulling back up your comments. Don't worry, people. Don't worry. Okay. Richie asking a question about the business card. Let me go ahead and pull that back up. I did see something about the family language here. Oh, great. Oh, actually, I don't know if they actually did include it. I believe I read that you can have it alongside all the other cards, though. Yeah, I think, man, I guess I don't know the answer to this. Maybe somebody else has it, but I'm pretty sure that you can get this card alongside all the other ink cards, and that's why we heard that rumor earlier that you might be able to. They got rid of the one Sapphire card rule because you could hold the business Sapphire card and the personal one, and also, yeah, I think all that kind of plays into the idea that the family language would only apply. Like the Chase ink cards are one family, and the Chase Sapphire cards are different. Broken Femur saying, I think it becomes the best card to book hotels directly with. It depends. I mean, if you like to book IHG properties, then yes, because you can book directly with IHG and have that status. But also you could get the Wells Fargo autograph Journey, I believe is the one that has the... You get the Wells Fargo autograph Journey card here, which gives you 4x back with airlines directly, and it only has a $95 annual fee. So if that's all you care about, definitely don't go for the Sapphire Reserve just for that purpose. You need to be able to justify it otherwise. Brandon, thank you for joining. I know a little bit later in the live here, but obviously if you have any questions, let me know. Yep, KG, here we go. This is like the main point here, is that it's getting harder and harder to juggle all these credits to justify multiple luxury cards. I guess that's their goal, right? Yeah, their goal is to get you to just dive all in on the Sapphire Reserve, which technically I might still do. We're going to calculate my effective annual fee in a second, but I'm going to have to test that for like the 7 months that I have access to really find out. You know, a lot of people are going to be like, I think the Venture X news came out, right? The Venture X news came out. Everybody freaks out. They're like, I'm canceling my Venture X, which I thought was an overreaction. But I'm canceling my Venture X. I'm going to move to the next card. Well, the Platinum card doesn't have good guest policies or authorized user policies. So they move maybe to the Sapphire Reserve that has good guest policies and authorized user policies. Now the Sapphire Reserve raises their annual fee. People are going to freak out and say, I'm canceling this card. I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to Amex. They move to the Amex Platinum. The Amex Platinum has decent guest policies or whatever for now. Then they're going to raise the annual fee to $1,000. And people are going to be like, I'm canceling this card. I'm going back to the Venture X. That's just how this stuff works. So I think it's always like doom and gloom. Like people just hate all changes, which I understand. Change is scary, but like, come on, guys, let's just calculate your own effective annual fee and see what happens. These banks are going to continue to raise annual fees. They're going to continue to push you into their ecosystems, like the edit collection, like all that kind of stuff. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, get rid of it. Yeah, Richie, I understood your question. If you already have the ink preferred, will it stop you from applying for the potential business Sapphire Reserve? I don't think so, no. But we'll find out soon. I guess June 23rd should be when that one's announced too, I believe. Alexis, yes, to become a member, you can, if you're watching on desktop or like in a browser, underneath the live, you'll see a little join button and you can join there. Thank you for doing that if you do decide to. Mike saying, can you have the reserve personal and business at the same time? That is the rumor right now, is that they're getting rid of the one Sapphire card rule. In a sense, I would imagine it's going to remain intact for the personal cards, the preferred and the reserve. But for the business one, you could probably hold both the business and the personal. That's my guess. Jerome saying Chase is going to drive him back to Wells, or worse yet, Amex. Yeah, I think people are probably going to be like, oh, Amex Platinum is still king, well, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to raise the annual fee to $1,000 and people will change. David, yeah, see, here's the other side of it, is that the new Chase Sapphire Reserve is still better value than the Amex Platinum. For a certain demographic, I completely agree. That's still where I'm sitting. I think I would still get more value from this card than the Platinum, especially taking into account the possible changes they're going to make, or the guaranteed changes they're going to make soon. Alejandro, I do think that this is probably a likely setup for a lot of people. I guess the one not major downside, but the one thing you got to consider with that is that you will be losing the guest access, well, for authorized users, which maybe that matters for some people. You're not going to get the 3x back on dining, but you would have that covered on the preferred. And then you'll miss out on some of the added benefits like the Apple Music and the Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables, StubHub, and Peloton. So if you don't care about those specific things, then yeah, it would make a lot of sense to go preferred combo with the Reserve Business. But at that point, it's like if all you need is access to the partners with the preferred, then you actually wouldn't really be using the preferred for much, except for, you know, using it for dining. But then if you had a Freedom card, you could use that one for dining. So I don't know. It might be one of those cases where you only need one Sapphire card in general still. You don't need two, but we'll see. James putting the Odin emoji for the members. Odin, what's going on with your ears? Ooh. He wants to go out on the porch. I know he does. He loves sitting out on the porch. Oops, there we go. Nope. Sorry. Yeah, that's just your name. A Siege player here. I see you. The edit credit is the tricky one for me. It requires a 2-night minimum stay. Yep, that's true. Makes things a little bit harder to justify. But if you're only staying for one night at one of these properties, like I guess it makes sense for like a quick staycation. But if you're traveling somewhere, you're going to be staying more than one night anyways. So I don't know. Stacy saying that she does not hate it. She likes how they added lifestyle with travel. The StubHub credit would be great for her. She goes to Miami Heat games. Travel credit is easy. Already use Apple Music. May upgrade her Sapphire Preferred now. So that is definitely one side of the story here, and I think that makes a lot of sense. It's like if these benefits, these credits, these earning rates, all this stuff, if it fits your lifestyle, this card's great. Like that, it's better now. But if you don't fit its target demographic, it's much worse, right? So, yeah. Broken Femur's asking if you could use the edit credit on dining. No, because you have. I'm going to say no. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but you have to book the travel through the portal, so you couldn't just book a dining trip at one of the edit hotels. You'd have to book it through the portal, the hotel itself. Kadeem, I appreciate you. It means a lot. Professor Wamsgam saying, rather than the Chase Sapphire Preferred and Sapphire Reserve Business, I'd suggest the Chase Ink Preferred and Chase Sapphire Reserve Personal. That way you still have 3x on all travel and the option for lounge access authorized user cards. Great point. Yep, that's actually the route that I would go as well. Yeah, it's hard to pay $795 for a business credit card if you're not going to get value from the credits and stuff. So like the personal one provides a lot more value for the average person, the Reserve, and the Ink Preferred still having 3x on all travel for now. I think that's the right way to go too. My Life on Earth also agrees here as well. KG saying, so would a product changing a preferred to the Sapphire today, if you already consider it, be a good idea? Yeah, run an effective annual fee calculation, but you want to do it before June 23rd to lock in the lower annual fee. The 1.5 cent per point redemption rate, we covered it probably 20 minutes ago or so, but effectively they're getting rid of that in place of a points boost feature that allows you to either earn 1 cent per point through the portal or 2, but it's only for higher tier hotels and airlines. It's a massive loss in my opinion, but you do have the ability to redeem your points earned before October 25th, 2025 at that 1.5 cent per point rate through the portal through October 25th, 2027, if those points were already combined onto your Sapphire Reserve card. Brandon saying, you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, always plan to upgrade eventually. Do you see any upside to waiting to upgrade? It doesn't seem like it because at June 23rd, the card will be released with a higher annual fee. So if you upgrade after that point, you're going to be paying the higher annual fee. So to me, it doesn't really make sense to wait personally. But yeah, maybe there's something I'm not thinking of, but I don't see a reason why you wouldn't just go for it before. Kyle saying that Miles Talk is saying you can have the Chase Sapphire Preferred and apply and receive the bonus for the new Chase Sapphire Reserve. Interesting. I'd have to look into that more. I guess that's why people are saying that the one Sapphire rule might be gone. Maybe it's just a glitch right now. Because again, I don't think you should be able to hold the Sapphire Preferred and Reserve Personal. Oh, whoops, I'm not. Am I sharing the right screen here? Oh, I accidentally clicked way back. Sorry. I clicked way back on my timeline. But I believe that they would allow you to hold the personal and business version. Yep, I agree. Thanks for the confirmation. We could actually take a look real quick at, I wanted to do this earlier. Thank you for reminding me. Max Miles and Points unbox this card. So let's watch it real quick. Shout out to you again, Max. Thank you for jumping on this news quick and answering my text this morning.
White box like this. The packaging definitely feels premium, not some flimsy envelope that
Nice. Didn't even know I was muted. Sorry about that, guys. I was just saying that my old Sapphire card unboxing was a lot less premium than this, as you can tell. There's just an envelope within an envelope. Max's is much cooler, so I was just looking for that. What do y'all think about this? How do y'all feel about this design? I don't mind it. I think the old one maybe is a bit cooler. Oh, dang, he got like a friggin' marketing package. I need this. I don't mind it. People like kind of hated it. Yeah, David says that he likes it too. People were really going people were going hard on this design. Old one's better, but still nice. Alejandro Max doing it without the countdown. I showed my girlfriend a video that I was filming about another card I applied for recently, and she loved all the countdowns. I never even noticed that I did it. Owen saying kind of looks like a snakeskin. Oh, he's measuring the weight. 19 grams, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I definitely don't mind the design of it. Let's go back to... Where's the dang card? There it is. No. Whatever. I think the card design's cool. Completely agree with this, though. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Matters what it does for you. Agreed. And speaking of, let me go ahead and just go back to what I was doing earlier and just see if I can calculate a quick effective annual fee for this card. So for me, I'll mark out what I'm not going to use. And definitely not this. I'm just going to get rid of it. Or maybe I'll just do... Copy this here so you can see what it was before. Oh, whoops. And now what I'm actually going to use. So $7.95, $300 annual travel credit, easy. This is $25 per year. Let's just go ahead and do that. We're doing on an annual basis. The edit collection, 500. I really do think I could use that. I don't think I'm going to be stretching. I already do this, so I'm not stretching to use that. $120 towards Lyft. I'll probably use that half the time. So I'm going to put that there. DoorDash. I don't really use... I'm probably going to get like 150 from this at best. Right now I use it maybe like once a month for the grocery mainly. Sometimes a bit more if I really am feeling lazy. So we'll say 150. Dash Pass I wouldn't pay for without this. So I'm actually just going to do 0 from that one. I wouldn't buy it without it. Sapphire Tables. I don't think it's going to be that hard to use. Honestly, what I haven't done yet, let me see here. On Open Table. Well, I don't want to actually... Austin, baby. Come on. Let's see what they have. Oh, yeah. They got Red Ash. Come on. Come on. Este is also popular. Sammy's. Dude, I use that too. Suerte. Okay, all these are actually Commodore. So twice a year. Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. And I say that because I'm already doing that. I'm already going to these properties once every 6 months to take my girlfriend out and stuff like that. I'm going to leave that at 300. StubHub, I don't think I've booked at StubHub yet. I'm going to put it at 0 just to be extra conservative for y'all. But I think I'll probably use it once a year. $0 from Peloton, obviously. IHG Platinum. I mean, I'm not going to value that at anything, even though it's really nice to have. Apple TV, how much does that cost? $10 a month. I'm just going to go ahead and do 120. Under the assumption that I am getting it, I can remove that later. This one's going to be 0, 0. Points boost. This is a massive loss for me. What I'm going to come to the conclusion of here, I already know, is that even with the points boost not working out as well as I would have liked it to, I'm probably still going to get plenty of positive value to justify this card. Yeah, the points boost is a big loss. That pisses me off, to be honest. Earning categories wise, I'm going to earn a lot less from this card too. I think last year I earned, I don't remember how many points from the travel category specifically. I did use it a lot for dining too. Right now I've changed my strategy up actually, and I might have to change it back because of this change. But I've been using my Amex Business Gold card for dining since I have lower Amex point earning potential. But now with Chase, I might have even lower points earning potential because I lose that travel, even though I don't use it a lot. Regardless, I'm not going to include my points earned. I'm just going to look at credits today. Just wanted to remind y'all what these are. So if we do the math on this, I guess I can just do it on the calculator so y'all can see what I'm doing. No, not the calendar. Get out of here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So we're talking $795 minus 300 minus 25, 560. So if I include everything, we're just going to get rid of the points boost for now and the earning categories. This is before. So we're talking, what did I just say? Where did my calculator go? Negative 660 or something like that. So obviously this card makes sense for me. I'm going to make it EAF conservative. That works. And I'm going to get rid of the free Apple TV as well as the DoorDash. We're still talking, I mean, just with the credits alone, I'm still getting negative. God dang it, I lost it again. Gotta remember this stuff. 390. So mathematically, this card makes sense for me to keep. And y'all are coming to this realization with me. Let me know if y'all think I'm missing something here. But overall, I think my effective annual fee is actually better. It is better than before. With the credits alone last year, my effective annual fee was, I mean, technically what, like $250? Or I guess I used some of the Grubhub and stuff like that, and I didn't even include the Grubhub and stuff in here. So yeah, overall, this card is actually better for me now, which is kind of crazy. But that points boost is it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay. Yeah, Professor Wamsgam saying, yeah, points boost is the biggest factor for me. Points boost only showed up for business or first class flights when I searched last month. That's where you already expect to transfer out. Exactly. It's like, yeah, the biggest perk, again, the biggest competitive advantage is that you could transfer your points out to, or that you could use your points for the 1.5 cent per point through the portal. They've gotten rid of that. And now what you do get 2 cents per point for through the portal, you would generally rather transfer out to. I guess the catch here, though, Professor, is that what you're getting 2 cents per point for, yes, for the flights, I agree with you. You'd want to transfer those out for higher class flights. But for the hotels, it's still a good deal because the edit collection is usually going to be like, I stayed at like a Kimpton hotel in New Orleans for the creator meetup last year. And the Kimpton was a IHG property. I didn't have IHG points. And actually now, better than before, I would have IHG Platinum status with the new card. And I don't transfer, I book through the portal at 2 cents per point for an IHG property. That's great. So I think what I'm basically getting down to is like, it's still good for the travel portal to a degree. I think for the people that are going to use the edit collection, which was me before, if you use the edit collection, you get the $500 off per year. You get the IHG Platinum status if you book an IHG edit property, and you get 2 cents per point. That is a net benefit. But the people that lose are everybody else that books general travel through Chase's travel portal, because you're not getting 1.5 cents anymore. Unless, of course, again, you transfer all your points to your Chase Sapphire Reserve before October 25th, 2025. Then for the next 2 years, you have those points to use at the 1.5 cent per point rate. So maybe for a lot of people, it makes sense to upgrade your preferred now, lock it in at $550, transfer all your points to it, use it like it was used before for the next until 2027 if you wanted to, and then take it from there after that point. So I don't know. Ian, yes, the Sapphire Reserve, or the Sapphire in general, bonus rule is every 48 months. Alexander, great question. Let's go ahead and bring that up real quick too. Edit collection. I know actually Max talked about it. Let me go ahead and pull up his video again. Here we go. So here's what the edit collection gives you. Daily breakfast for two, $100 property credit, room upgrade, early check-in, late checkout, Wi-Fi. So that is that was my experience with the Kimpton. I made a full video about that as well. Actually, I made a video with a bunch of other creators in it too. So it's a combo video, this one. Oh, look, it's Anthony Venture. I don't know if he was in. I think I saw his name pop up earlier. Might have missed him. But I talked about my experience at the Chase Edit Collection, and Luke talked about Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts. Richie, the CEO, talked about Capital One Premier Collection. But yeah, overall, I found that the edit benefits are just as competitive, really. So again, I didn't even take that into account with what I just said earlier about all those extra things that we get now with the edit. You also have these complimentary benefits. So I think it's pretty comparable to Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts. Time and effort to justify the card is not worth it, especially if you're managing other ecosystems. I agree to an extent, but if you're the pushback that I think I would have as well as others is that if you have a premium travel credit card, you need to be expecting to put in that extra effort these days. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, all of them are coupon books except for the Venture X right now, but I'm assuming that'll eventually change. But yeah, like if you're opposed to managing credits and benefits, then premium travel credit cards are not for you. That's kind of like what the whole thesis of my video about why premium credit cards are not for you is about. It's like if you don't want these added benefits, these premium benefits, you don't want to track them, then that card's probably not for you. And that is a good understanding to come to, because then you are not going to waste $795 a year on a card that isn't meant for you. Oh, David, what's going on? From Spain, thank you for joining. Greg, no, the average cost of an edit collection hotel is pretty ridiculous. Let me see if I can bring it up. I'm not going to even bring it up. I know that some of them go for, 600 plus for sure. It's the luxury brands. Gentlemen, this is a question that is being figured out right now. Apparently, Mile Talk has some data point showing that people that have the preferred can get approved for the new reserve. I'm not sure about this. There's some up in the air things about these one Sapphire card rules. So I think there's going to be a lot of things worked out over the next week or two, and we'll figure that out. Professor, sorry, I don't want to speak on the Venture X coupon book. We've seen them already follow suit with Amex with the guest and authorized user policies. So it's not surprising if they eventually add the other ones, add the coupons and stuff like that. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and cut this one. I want it to be less than an hour and a half. I can't believe we still have 300 people watching this. Thank y'all so much for joining, and thank you to the new membership that we got. Thank y'all for just giving me your attention for this amount of time. Overall, my thesis is that what was once a very competitive card for domestic travelers is becoming less so in certain regards. Chase is going the coupon book route. We don't like that. But as we saw me calculating my effective annual fee, the credits do make sense for me personally. So I will be keeping it for now, especially because I lock in the lower annual fee for about 7 months with where my renewal date is. If you're somebody with a Sapphire Preferred and you want this card, upgrade before June 23rd so you can lock in the lower annual fee. If your renewal date is before October 25th, you will lock in the new benefits at that lower annual fee until it renews again. So overall, it's just a lot. I wish I didn't go the coupon book route, but they are. Amex is going to top them very soon again. But yeah, as with every high annual fee credit card, calculate your effective annual fee. If it makes sense for you, great. If it doesn't, then get rid of it. If you are going to get rid of it, consider downgrading this one rather than canceling it, because they have a lot of good downgrade paths. But yeah, don't, make too many emotional decisions with these credit cards, just like the Venture X I mentioned. Use them like tools. That's what credit cards are. They're just tools. So if this tool isn't serving you anymore, you can leave it. You can give it to somebody else, take that thing to Goodwill. But yeah, thank you again to everybody watching. Thank you for Damon Cassidy for joining this one with just the best comment we've seen so far. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to go back and check through the live stream if you're just now joining. And yeah, that is all the updates on the new Chase Sapphire Reserve cards. And as always, Odin, come here. Quickly. Retention, come here. Jesus, come here. Thank you all so much again for watching. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet and you watched this whole live stream, definitely consider that. And yeah, thank you all so much. We'll catch you guys next time.